Welcome to the Everything 2000s podcast, your ultimate throwback guide to one of the most iconic decades ever. I'm your co-host, Shaleena.
And I'm Kristen. We're pressing rewind on the music, movies, and TV shows that raised us. We're bringing the nostalgia, the laughs, and all the memories you didn't even know you forgot.
Let's get into it. Hey everyone, welcome back to another episode of Everything 2000s. Today we are going to be covering the Princess Diaries, which came out back in 2001 on July 29th. And if you are unfamiliar with the movie, it was based on a novel series with the same title, and it centers on a shy teenage girl named Mia Thermopolis. Sorry, I'm like messing up the names today. Who's played by Anne Hathaway, and she's thrown in for a loop when out of the blue she learns that she's a real life princess. Her late father was a prince, and as the heir to the crown of a small European country called Genovia, which when I was a kid I thought it was a real place. I don't know about you, Kristen.
Okay. Same here.
Yeah, looking up on the map, where's Genovia? No one exists. And so she begins this journey towards claiming the throne when her strict and formidable grandmother, Queen Clarice Rinaldi, played by Julie Andrews, shows up to give her princess lessons. So if you haven't seen the movie, highly recommend. Pause our episode, watch it, and then come back and listen.
Yes. I think it's on Disney Plus now.
Yes.
Yes.
Both of them, the first one and the second one.
Yes. We'll be talking about the first film today, guys.
Yes. Yes. And real quick, before I pass it over to Kristen, I was reading this BuzzFeed article sharing the difference between the movie and the book series. Wait, have you read the book series at all?
No, I haven't.
Okay, neither have I. So apparently in the book, her father is alive.
Whoa.
And yeah. So that was interesting to find out. He had cancer down there. So he thought he wasn't able to have kids.
Oh, okay.
So this is based on this article, he had cancer after Mia was born. And he had another daughter after Mia. So Mia has a half black sister, who apparently has her own book series as well called From the Notebooks of a Middle School Princess. So I thought that was interesting.
Hold on. I did not know this lore. So I wonder if in the movies does her mom also have a child? Because I mean in the books.
Yes, she does. Okay. So in the book she does marry Mia's teacher and they have a kid, so just like in the movie.
Okay, so but in the book she has two siblings instead of one.
Yes. And her father's alive and well in the book.
Whoa. It had prostate cancer?
Yeah, yeah.
Oh, testicular cancer. Okay.
Testicular cancer. And apparently in the book as well, based on this article on BuzzFeed, Mia has multiple boyfriends.
Oh,
I was like, okay. I don't know if it's it's like all together or like one after the other, but that was one of the differences. And then in the movie, the kids are horrible to her at school, but in the book, they're not as horrible.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
That's good to know because I was ready to throw hands. Every single time when it came to those kids.
Yeah.
Jeez. The black sister of it all is very interesting though.
Yeah. Yeah.
Wow.
So.
Okay, cool. Anything else from that or?
Those were the main ones that stood out to me.
Cool.
But I'll pass it over to the audience. If anyone who's listening if you've read the books, please let us know of any other main differences.
Yes, you can let us know in the comments on our YouTube channel, which speaking of, be sure to follow us on our socials. We do have a YouTube channel, which is Everything 2000s Podcast. So just type on YouTube at Everything 2000s Podcast, or everything will be, in the description for you below. And follow us on Instagram at Everything 2000s Pod. So you can let us know there or in the comments on YouTube or even in the comments on Spotify, if you read the books, if there's any differences there. So yes, and we also have our On This Day segment. Passing it back to Shaleena.
Yes. So on this day, April 30th, so in this month of recording, Mean Girls came out in 2004. And I would say this is one of the biggest, if not the biggest, movies of Lindsay Lohan's career.
Yeah.
It is such a cultural phenomenon. People still reference it to this day. It was huge at the time and even till this day. I've never seen the musical, the one that came out a few years ago. I wasn't
Oh, right.
impressed with the trailer. I'm like,
It
I don't
was
need to
the
watch it.
musical movie was awful, guys. No
Mm,
shade. Me and my
mm.
sister watched it and we were like, what's going on here? Committed. We committed all the way to the end, unfortunately. It
Oh
was
no.
bad.
Oh
Yeah, I
no.
say Mean Girls and Freaky Friday are gotta be her like two biggest bangers.
Yeah. And Parent Trap. That's the one that
True.
put her on the map. Yeah.
Right. Well, shout out to Mean Girls. I do have an episode on my solo podcast covering that movie as well. So be sure to check that out. A little bit, a lot.
Yes. I did watch that episode of yours with Gerald.
Yes,
Is that his name?
yes,
Yeah.
yes. With Gerald, that was a classic. Okay, well, I love the on this day fact. That was very interesting. Let's get into the movie. So, Princess Diaries, this is just in general a really big series to me. As a kid, I absolutely loved everything about this, the lore of Mia and just who she represented as a person was just like so important to me as a kid. I'm like, ugh, I just always thought she was so cool. Like you said, plus she's a princess. Like 10 out of 10 would recommend. So I'm like, okay, let's get into this. So we'll be talking about the first movie here, but I'm also going to be talking about Princess Diaries 2 on my solo podcast because I'm like, I got to cover both movies. So listeners, be look on the lookout for that on my solo show. You can find it in the description below because I will be releasing an episode talking about Princess Diaries 2 as well. But in reference to the first movie, let's start off with some of my favorite scenes. My first favorite scene from this film has to be like the one that made the biggest impact, the first scene that made the biggest impact, and to this day I still quote, is the choir scene when she's
Mm.
in the room in choir and they're singing and they say, catch a falling star
Star
and
and
put
put
it in
it in
your
your
pocket,
pocket.
never
Never
let
let
it
it
fade
fade away.
away. Like, what? I absolutely loved that little song when I was young. Like, I don't know why that was my favorite scene.
Hey, that's relatable. It was very it stayed with me. That song stayed with me till this day.
Yes.
And I haven't seen this movie in years, and when that scene came on, I knew all the lyrics.
Right, exactly. And I just thought it was so funny because then, like, right before they got into choir practice, it was like rambunctious in that room. You
Hmm.
had like the one like hot guy in there dancing
Josh.
around, yeah, Josh, and like they're just turning up, and then the choir teacher comes in and she's like, get out of here. And they immediately get into it.
Yeah.
Catch a falling star. You're like, okay, they're ready.
Oh
Like the way
man.
they transitioned so quickly right into starting choir practice was just so funny to me. So yeah, that's one of my favorite first scenes.
Love that. All right, for me, I started off with just a side note here that I loved Mia's bedroom as a kid. So, for those of you that haven't
Same.
seen the movie, her house was used to be an old fire station. So it has like the pole. It's very narrow. They live in San Francisco, so I don't know if that's a thing in San Francisco with the houses, but her room had, was it 3 layers? So she had her main floor with her bed and everything, and then she has stairs that goes up to like, I guess another floor, an attic, and she had a pole where she like from the top she could slide down or take the stairs. It was just super cool, and like
Yeah.
how the ceiling was painted as a sky.
Mm-hmm.
I always thought that was cool. So I was like, as a kid, I'm like, I want that room so bad.
Right? I would hate having to like use the physical energy with the pole. I've never been good at that.
Yeah, I'm always afraid. Like whenever I go as a kid, like to a jungle gym, or
Yeah.
I'm just afraid that the
It's gonna hurt your
friction
hands.
on my, yeah.
Yeah.
Um, real quick, funny thing happened. So I rewatched this movie with Adrian, and when the scene came to the bedroom, he saw the pole. He's like, "Oh, whoa, what movie? What kind of movie is this? What is this?" I'm like, "Relax, relax. It used to be a fire station." He's like, "Oh, okay."
Oh my god. No, that's so real, Adrian. Like for real. Because what's going on? Let me know.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. So my next favorite scene. Well, I can't say it's like favorite. I guess the scene that stands out was Lily complaining about dinner with her dad. I'm like,
Mm,
girl, okay. And I feel like this is something that needs to be talked about when it comes to this film. Like, there are so many, think pieces that I've seen, online where people talk about, like, is Lily an op? Like,
mm.
is she truly a friend or a foe? Because there's lots of times where moments like this, it just felt like, girl, are you my friend or are you my enemy? Like, you are kind of saying certain things that I personally wouldn't agree with when it comes to, what could be shown as support and a friendship. And I'm like, girly pop, you got it all wrong. But then again, you try to give her grace because, one, she's a fictional character. Two, she's a fictional character that's supposed to be a kid. So of course she's not going to have it all figured out. Of course she's not going to be always politically correct. She's going to be annoying. She's going to be selfish. She's, going to be bratty. But then again, it's like girly pop. Not every kid is like that. So are you going to act
Yeah,
like you know or not?
she's horrible. She's a
Yeah,
horrible friend.
she really is, and I'm glad that towards the end she gets it, her act together, and then especially in the second film, she's like even more of an actual supportive person on Mia's team. But in this moment, it's like so blaringly obvious where it sets the tone where it's like, oh, okay, this is the type of time Lily's on. It really sets the tone at the beginning of the film because as she's complaining about dinner with her dad, Lily says that she thinks that her parents said that they think that she needs an attitude adjustment. And so her dad wants to take her to dinner that night. And then Mia's like, well, at least your dad is still alive. And then Lily says, well, hey, I thought you were getting over that. It's been like, what, 2 months?
Yeah.
Hello?
Yeah. I'm like, she did, was this line in this movie this whole time? Like,
Yes,
that went
absolutely
over my
yes.
head as a kid. Yeah, when she said that, my jaw just dropped. I'm like, what? Where's the
Right.
empathy? Where's the sensitivity?
No,
Why would you
genuinely.
say that? And then
Yeah.
Mia just takes it. She's like, yeah, but, you know.
Right. Mia was still in her timid era at the beginning.
Hmm.
I'm so glad that we were able to see her kind of grow some backbone there and eventually stand up to Lily later in the film, like she does. Because this was absolutely out of pocket, and I wish she would have, acknowledged it in the moment. But you don't know what you don't know, and she didn't have the confidence at the time to stand up for herself ever.
Hmm.
So even to her own best friend, but like you said, that was just so insensitive of her to say. And like Lily felt like she should be over it because she didn't really know her dad like that, you know? And it's like, it doesn't matter. At the end of the day, it's still my dad. And like she said, he had sent her stuff, he'd given her that gift to open up on her birthday. Like, at the end of the day, it's not like he was like, "Tuh, I want nothing to do with my daughter." Like
Yeah.
she understood that he had responsibility, in Genovia. So even though they weren't close, it's like she was still mourning that. So for you to be insensitive in that way is like, girly pop, that ain't it.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah.
Yeah. Boo, Lily.
Right. L Lily.
All right. The next point here that stood out to me slash favorite scenes, nostalgic moments here was the foot pop scene and like that whole dream of or desire of Mia wanting to have that kiss that makes your foot pop. I remember being not obsessed, but that was a thing as a kid. I was like, oh, I want that happening to me one day.
Same. And I
And
and I blame Mia. I blame Mia Thermopolis, sister, because you set this standard for all of us millennials at this time. I don't know a single girly who could have at our age, around our age group, that would
mhm,
watch this movie and didn't be like, yeah, that sounds right, Mia. I want that too.
yeah,
Because she made it seem so romantical, so fantastic. And then when she finally has that moment, she thought with Josh, that first attempt at the flip pop,
her
that was
foot,
horrendous.
her foot gets stuck in the net.
Oh, I feel so bad for my girl. That's
And
that scene in the aftermath. Ooh, it's
oh,
it's hard. It's hard to watch.
it is. When I was a kid, when I saw that scene, I'm like, okay, if my foot doesn't pop when I'm kissing someone, that means it's not meant to be. It's like my
Right.
foot gets stuck or something. So make note, Shaleena, make note.
And then she had a daydream that her foot popped, but then her foot was stuck in gum. I thought that was pretty funny too.
Foreshadowing.
Mm-hmm.
Oh.
Yeah.
Hmm.
So the fact that she essentially has two foot popping moments, one flop with Josh where her
Mm-hmm.
foot gets stuck, but then that final one at the end,
Yep,
so
with
worth
Michael.
it. She was wearing that bust down heel in that gown in that garden. Oh,
Perfect. Perfect.
oh my God, that scene was beautiful.
It
That
was.
garden, and then it's like it hits different when you know that her granny has been working on that garden like basically the whole movie.
Yes.
Her granny was on the low ski, putting her blood, sweat, tears into that garden the whole film. So then the
Yeah.
fact that it's a full circle moment where she has that true foot popping kiss at the end, in that beautiful, gorgeous gown with those heels and that tiara with her man in that garden. Come on,
Mm-hmm. And
yeah,
Michael looked really good too. He cleaned up
right.
well
I
with his hair slicked
know.
back. Like he looked good.
And shout out to Michael for showing up. He knew what he needed to do. He stepped up.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I love that. Okay, period. And speaking of Michael, let's take it to my next standout scene, which is the auto repair shop scene. That scene used to stand out to me so much as a kid because I used to love the fact that, okay, this is Lily's brother and he's in a band. Because, during that time, just being in a band was just like haughty behavior.
Mm-hmm.
Like,
Yep. Yep.
so the fact that he was in the band, I'm like, ooh, like this just gives him that extra edge and that extra like mystique because he just already was this mysterious type of like cool guy. You know what I mean? So then the fact that he was in a band, I'm like, okay, that just like made him like legit at the time when I was younger. So I'm thinking, okay, he's ultra cool. He's got aura, and that was almost kind of intimidating for me as a kid. Where I'm like, does that him being in a band make him out of Mia's reach? Like, is he too cool for Mia? Like, I used to really wonder these things. But my favorite part of the auto repair shop scene when we first see the auto repair shop is he's playing on the keyboard, but there's M&Ms on the
Yes.
keyboard.
Yes.
And then he goes and
Talent.
like picks one up and
Multi-talented.
eats it. Literally, a multi-talented. Because like, why are the M&Ms there?
He has a thing with M and M's because he likes them on his pizza.
Right, which is gross. But
To each their own.
the M&Ms on the keyboard. I'm like, why is that? That used to fascinate me as a kid. And then the scene where the girls are watching them during their rehearsal as they're playing, and there's a girl and she says, he fixes cars, he plays guitar, and he can sing. He is so hot.
Yeah.
And I'm like, girl, you delivered that line. Yes, 10 out of 10, no notes.
While she's
He fixes
jamming.
cars, he plays guitar. And then you immediately see like, oh, okay, so there's some other girlies that are checking for him. So that just
Hmm.
makes like Michael just seem like even cooler. So I used to love that part.
Yeah. Yeah, that one I was like, wow, multi-talented. He could sing, play keys, and eat at the same time.
No, for
Just
real.
like, but with adult eyes, I'm like, that's unsanitary.
Yeah,
Like, what are you doing? Stop that. Stop that nonsense.
cut it out. He's just trying to add some extra flair so bad.
Oh my gosh. Love that. Thanks for bringing that one up. That one was
Yeah.
a good one. Okay, so my next scene is related to Alana, the bully of the movie, played by Mandy Moore. And the scene where, so throughout the movie, Alana's tormenting Mia. She's horrible towards her and to other students in the school. So one of the end scenes, one of the last scenes of the school scene, Mia has ice cream, an ice cream cone. She's eating her ice cream. She's talking to Jeremiah, one of her friends. And then Alana and her friends are making fun of him. And then I think they're,
Jeremiah and Mia. Maya
yes.
and Mia. Like,
Yeah.
girl, she had it coming.
Yeah. So they made fun of his shirt. And then Mia's like, you know what? I'm so sick of you. And she like just tells her off. And then she's like, you know what look good with your, no, no, sorry. Before she says, I'm so sick of you, she's like, Alana, your shirt looks so cute. And Alana's like, oh, thank you. And she's like, you know what would go good with that shirt? And then she puts her ice cream cone, smushes it all over Alana's shirt, and she's screaming hysterically, ah, ah. And then Mia's like, I'm so sick of you. Like, you're so rude. I forget what the specific words, but Mia just gives it to Alana. And then
Yeah.
Alana's like, Miss Gupta, which is the principal. Miss Gupta, did you see what Mia did to me? And then Miss Gupta's like, oh, no. Send it off to dry cleaning. And it sits back down. Shout out to Sandra Oh, by the way.
No, I'm genuinely screaming, crying because, like, Miss Gupta did not care, bro. Especially if Mia's concerned, Miss Gupta is fully on Mia's side at this point.
Yes.
You know what I mean?
Yes.
She's the princess. We gonna let her do what she want to do. Run it
Oh,
because we
man.
all know that you're awful. So it's
Yeah.
like if you gonna have any moment as a principal to let it slide, that's right. Ain't seen nothing, ain't heard nothing. Go take it to dry cleaning. Get in my face.
Yeah.
Cause I don't. I'm not trying to hear all that, sister. You know it. You know you be cutting up. So go on and stop crying and change your shirt.
Yeah. And if you look closely in the background when Miss Gupta is talking, there's other teachers sitting
Yeah.
with her and they're like, oh, okay.
None of the teachers care.
They don't. They're just sitting there. Okay. But yeah, that
Oh
one, I
my
was like,
god.
yes, Mia.
I love that moment too. Maya and Mia. Like, no, you had that coming. And shout
Yeah.
out to Jeremiah. He was like one of the lesser characters there, but he had an impact.
Yeah. With the hair,
Yeah.
the bright. What did he dye it? Was it red or
I
green?
think
I
it was,
can't
I think he
remember.
did have red hair.
Yeah, it was
Yeah.
like dyed.
And at that point in the movie, Mia was in her bag. She was like, you know what? I don't care no more. I got my
Hmm.
silk press. You can get lost.
Exactly.
Oh, okay, yes. Thanks for sharing that one. That was a good one. My next favorite is Paolo. Paolo coming, their hairstylist comes and gives Mia her very first makeover. And we have Lily's reaction, right? So those are two things in one event that are kind of crazy. Like, first of all, Um, when he comes to do her, makeover, her granny's like, "Look, we got to get you a new do, sister. Right? Let's silk this hair out, press this hair out. You know what I mean? Do these eyebrows, give you a little light glam, and you can really see that, you can pop off. Like, ain't nothing wrong with the natural beauty, but sometimes you can pop your tings if you want to, girl, and stunt and realize like you're beautiful. And I love that. I love that her granny gave the opportunity for her to really see, because self-care is important. Having a pamper day, in the
Hmm.
salon, getting your nails done, your toes done, like especially as a princess, like that's self-care, right? So I love that Mia got exposed to the world of self-care, spa day type of energy. Yes, get the cucumbers,
Yeah.
get the cucumbers out and chill and relax and let the people your granny hired give you a makeover. So I love it. And then it's like the music that plays.
Hmm. I can hear it right now. Yeah, I can hear it.
I love the music that plays
Oh
during
my
the makeover
gosh.
sequence. It's so good. And then when he first comes to do her hair, he says, where's the beautiful girl?" And then the queen points to Mia, and she says, "Oh, my granddaughter Amelia." And he looks at her and he goes, "Ah,
Nuts. That was so
oh,
rude. That was so
that was
rude.
literally like, what would like you look at her and go, ah?" I'd have been,
Rude.
if I was the granny, that I couldn't have let that slide.
I know. I would have been like, get out. I'll
No,
find someone else.
genuinely. We could find anyone else to do what you do, brother. Don't even play with me. So that was very rude. But after the makeover sequence, it still ends up being incredible, because they're just, like I said, the music is all just so nostalgic. She gets the makeover. She looks absolutely incredible. That's when she meets up with Lily. And Lily looks at her, and instead of being like, "Oh, girl, you ate. I love this. Like, yes, give him something different. Switch up the look every once in a while, period." Instead, she says, "Who destroyed you? You look ridiculous. You should sue."
Hater.
Excuse me?
Hater.
No, I genuinely can't describe with any other word other than hater. Like, that's genuinely like hater behavior. And
Hmm.
that ended up making Mia cry. And I'm glad that Mia said in the end, "Okay, well, just because your hair sucks, get off of mine." I was like,
Hmm.
eat
Yes.
that up, Mia. Eat her up. Because, like, the few times she's clapping back at Lily are so good.
They are. They are.
But I just thought that was so cruel of her. And it's like, of course, in the end, then Lily admits, like, "I was jealous, you're like, you get to be cool and you get to be a princess." But it's like, girl, don't tear me down. We're supposed to be sisters. We're supposed to be friends for life. You gotta hype me up. Don't do that. So yeah, that was a
Yeah.
crazy moment to me.
Yeah. On that topic, before I get to my next point, what's it called? So before Paulo comes in and does the makeover, the queen is doing like a visual scan of Mia. It was kind of intense. She's like,
Yeah.
"You have beautiful eyes hidden behind Bushman eyebrows." I was just
Oh,
like,
it's
oh,
like, girl, okay, not too much.
yikes. Oh, yikes.
No, heavy on yikes. Like,
I took that personally because when I don't do my eyebrows come in thick. I get it from my dad.
oh,
But I was just like,
same,
oh man,
same.
not the
And
Bushman.
I literally have like a
He,
dent in my brows where there's a little piece of brow that does not grow hair. So if I don't brush them out, it looks crazy. I don't care anymore. I stopped
yeah,
getting my
same.
brows done a long time ago. And I'll fill them in when I do my glam, and that's it. Like, I don't care anymore, bro.
Yeah,
They grow how they grow. They are how they are. So I feel me on that. Not too much on me.
yeah. Yeah. Yeah, her Queen Clarice was ooh, she was vicious a little bit
Yeah,
with her
I
with
kind of
her.
always skim over that part, but that was kind of crazy for her to say. Like, okay, Granny, thanks, I
Yeah,
guess.
yeah. And I also want to point out as well, this is a very popular trope in rom-coms with the whole like beauty makeover. And it's literally they take off their glasses and they straighten their hair. That's it.
Yeah.
Or they, yeah, that's basically it. They take off their glasses, they wear contacts. Oh,
And then we
beautiful.
wonder why black girls that are around our age, our millennials, were like frying the freak out of their hair in the
Oh
early
yeah,
2000s,
a
trying
lot
to
of
do,
girls, even non-black. Like I,
yeah.
yeah. Go
Like,
ahead. Yeah.
no, that's not necessary, guys. Like, curly girls rise, okay? All she needed was to have somebody teach her how to maintain her curly hair. We didn't even need, now that you know, hindsight 2020, they could have just gave her a good leave-in conditioner, a good mousse, curling
Mm-hmm.
mousse,
Mm-hmm.
and taught her how to like enhance her curls. We don't always need the flat iron.
Yeah.
Like she could have still been a curly girl, but just I think the problem was like her hair was so frizzy because she was brushing it and then she wasn't using any product. Like,
Oh, that reminds me. Sorry, another point before I get to mine. Paulo, Paulo. Why everyone knows you're not supposed to brush dry, like people have curly hair. You're not supposed to brush it dry like that. You gotta make it wet.
right.
You gotta wet.
That's what I'm
Like,
saying. Wet
what are
it,
you
put some
doing?
product in it. He didn't do nothing.
Yeah, you just, no wonder your brush broke.
Right. And he gonna try to put that on her. No. That brush breaking scene as a kid was so funny though. As a kid, I'm like, har, har, har. But like now it's like, okay, not too much on me.
he he don't know. He's not a real. He's an imposter. Every
No, yeah.
hairstylist should know that you don't brush dry curly hair. Anyway,
Yeah.
great
And I
scene that you
truly,
brought up. Oh, go
yeah, I
ahead.
think he should have gave her a curly cut, as the curly girls call it, and she could have served with her curls and just had them
Hmm.
been defined, and it would have been cute. But I
Yeah.
digress.
All right. So my next favorite scene that stood out to me was, this was kind of similar to my last scene that I talked about. So throughout the movie, whenever it cuts to Mia being at school, we see that she's not very athletic. She doesn't like sports, and her phys ed teacher is very like, "Come on, Mia, just do something. Like, just try your best." And she just always has her head, like she's shaking her head. Something bad always happens when Mia's in phys ed. So the last scene, they're playing baseball, I believe. Yeah, baseball. And she hits the ball. She hits a home run, and the ball actually hits Josh in the groin area. And he's just like, oh, oh, oh. But I'm like, you know what? Karma for you. Like, I don't promote, like, if someone's in pain, I don't take fun in that. But
Right. And we
I'm
don't want
just
to
saying,
promote
like,
violence. But at
yeah,
the
but
end of
I'm
the
just
day,
like,
he had that coming. This was
yeah,
after he clearly was trying to be a clout demon. You were
yeah,
trying to get clout after
exactly.
that whole beach bash. So at this point
Exactly.
in the movie, girl, you better hit that home run.
Yeah. And
He,
as she was like forming her stance, like her brows were going like inwards, like she has like this mean mug look on her face. She's like, "Yeah, I'm gonna get it. I'm gonna get it." Because he was also laughing at her too.
ugh.
Before, I don't know if you remember that part.
Yes,
He's like,
yes.
"Haha, Mia." So she's like, "Oh yeah." Hits a home run. Ball hits him in the groin. She runs, gets back home, and everyone's like cheering her on, and then he's just there like, oh, oh. I'm like, well, treat others nice, kindly, be kind to others.
No, for real. Cry about it. Go to the nurse's office. Do what you got to do.
Yeah. So
No remorse for Josh at that point, considering how awful he had been. Like, this is
yeah,
crazy. He
yeah.
sucked. He sucked big time. And it's like, speaking of Josh, it's just like, ugh, like he was just so slimy and gross. Like, you really gonna switch up on the other girl, or Mandy Moore's character,
Alana, yeah.
Alana, and then be like, no, I'm about you, Mia, about you. Flaunt all in Alana's face. And it's like, we know that Alana's not a morally good person either.
Hmm.
But at the same time, it's like, Josh, that's supposed to be your girl. Alana's supposed to be your girl. And then you just go switch up on her and then take her to the beach bash instead flaunt all up in Alana's face the whole day that you're
Hmm.
with Mia. Take her on the boat. Alana seeing you on the boat with her. They dancing, having a little slow dance moment during the beach bash. Him and Alana are staring each other down. It's like, okay, that's not cute either, Josh, because why would I want you when you can't even be faithful to your own girl? Like, now you're showing me that you're basically like a flip flopper.
Yeah.
So how could I even take you serious? Because aren't you supposed? Ain't that your boo? Like, no, stand on what you claim. Claim Alana. Like, I don't
Yeah.
even. I hate that Mia even fell for that because me, I'd have been like, no, I thought you were with Alana. Like, you can't convince me that you genuinely just want to break up with her and now you want to be with me all of a sudden. Like, no, get lost.
Exactly. She was
Yeah.
blinded by love.
She was. And like as a kid, I used to be like, girl, yeah, Josh is a little yeah, like he's really cute. Like I used to get it as a kid. Like he was really like ultimate white boy hottie at the time.
Oh man.
Like now that I'm looking at it as an adult, I'm like, he's okay. But as a kid, I used to think Josh was really, really cute. So I'm like, girl, I kinda get it. I kinda get it though, at the same time.
I
So
I was always rooting for Michael.
yeah.
I saw through
Okay.
Josh. Josh
I
didn't
didn't
trick
see through
me.
Josh at first as a kid. I didn't. I fell for it just like her.
Oh man.
Oh my god. Okay. Was that your thing that you had just said?
Yes, so that was the Zed scene. Last
Okay,
scene.
cool. I have another scene that I really love. Speaking of, since we're on the topic of the beach bash thing, I used to love whenever the beach bash sequence would start because Mandy Moore performs at this
Yes.
event and Alana is up there. It was like Anna. What was the name? Do you know what the name was when
Um
they announced them as a group?
Anna, Lana, and
Oh,
Montana. Something like
Tana.
that.
Yeah, something that rhymed. So it's like, first of all, absolutely obsessed with the name of the group. Even
Yeah.
though I can't stand y'all, y'all A with the name. And then they go and they say, "Stupid Cupid, stop
Stop
picking
picking
on
on
me."
me.
I was
Yeah.
like, "Oh, you ate that, Alana. You ate that."
Yeah.
She's a bully and she's a singer. Nasty combo.
Nasty
Dangerous,
combo.
dangerous combo. Actually,
Oh my.
yeah. So I
Woo.
love that part. Stupid Cupid.
Stop
Like
picking on
the
me.
way she cuts her voice, the way she does her voice with that part, I love it.
Hmm.
I love it.
And the outfits.
Right. And then even like Mia's little beach outfit was so cute. But then that's when the beach scene just goes for the worst. And like I genuinely to this day watching it get so upset seeing what she goes through with them trying to like expose her, to the media while she was changing.
Hmm.
It's cruel. It's cruel. And
Yeah, I
shame
feel
on
like
all of those news reporters. Y'all are grown.
right? Horrible. And even I didn't like her grandmother's reaction to the tabloids. She's like, "You're," I forget the exact words, but she just had no empathy for
Yeah, she was like, "You're a
Mia.
princess. You should have never been in this position
Yeah.
to look stupid and be all over the magazine." And then Joe, thankfully, was like, "Girl, she's a kid."
She's a kid, and remember, there's two sides to the story. You didn't even sit down and ask her what happened. You just saw the pictures in the tabloids and then just went off on her. Um,
Yeah,
but yeah, as you said, Joe tells the queen like there was other factors involved in this and how it played out. So
and shout out to
yeah,
Joe. Shout out to
yes,
Joe. Can we take a moment to
yeah,
give Joe his tens? Like, I love him. Like, that's grandpa. That's really grandpa.
Grandpa Joe.
No, for real. Okay, your turn.
Oh my. And then my last one here is I have two
Two
ones,
more.
two more. So when this one's really quick, so before that scene that I mentioned, Mia and Queen Clarice they go on a grandmother granddaughter day in San Francisco. Mia shows her around, and then there's one part where actually before they do that, Mia's like, "Oh, I want to show you my baby," and then Clarice's face just drops like, "Have a great grand," but she's actually talking about her car that she wants to buy, and then Clarice ends up buying it for her, which is really nice. But I
Yeah.
just remember Clarice's facial expression was so funny for that part.
I love that
Uh,
sequence. Everything about their like grandmother granddaughter day was so fun. Her eating, was it a corn dog for the first
yes.
time?
Hmm.
That was so funny when she does like the arm wrestling and she like wipes down the like
Yeah.
arm before she touches it.
Yes.
I'm like, okay, Queen Tings. We don't do
Yeah.
germs. We
Yeah.
don't do germs. That was funny. And then like when they get in the accident and they run into the little like trolley
Hmm.
and her granny like finesses their way out of that situation so Mia doesn't get arrested. I'm like,
Skills.
okay. Yeah, she ate that.
Yeah.
Um I think one more scene that I have that I didn't write down in the outline was, I think, my favorite out of all of the whole movie. The scene that I love the absolute most, that still is like one of my vocal stems to this day, is when Principal Gupta first finds out that Mia is the princess and she's in her office. And Gupta answers the phone because the phones are going crazy at the high school. It's chaos. People are like, oh my God, you have a princess that goes to your school. What's going on? Everybody wants to meet Mia. Everybody wants to call the principal to get a statement. Media is going crazy. She answers the phone when Mia's in the office. She goes, mm-hmm, mm-hmm, mm-hmm. The queen is coming to Grove High School.
Yes.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm, mm-hmm. The queen is coming. And so
Oh
sometimes I'll just
man.
be like, like the queen is coming. It's like, what is going on? Like, she was really acting like she was like a stealthy agent. Like, I don't know.
Don't forget the part where she says her name when she answers it, Gupta. Like she
Gupta.
answers it with like
Yes.
like an agent.
I forgot that part. Gupta. Mm-hmm, mm-hmm, mm-hmm. The queen is coming to Grove High School.
Shout out to Sandra. Oh,
Yeah.
classic,
That might be the
iconic,
best quote of the entire movie, in my opinion.
iconic moment.
The queen is
Yeah,
coming.
you do such a good impression. You're good. Round of
Thanks.
applause for Kristen.
Because I've said it, like, I genuinely will just randomly say it. Like, it's still in my, like, active, like, random quotes, like, quotables. I will burst that out anytime I think about it. It's
Oh
so
man,
good.
love that.
Yes.
Oh my. So I'll end off with my last one. It comes at the end of the movie where Mia gives her speech at the ball. The part where she thanks her dad, because prior to that, she was going to run away. She didn't want to become princess. But in the diary that her father gave her to open up on her 16th birthday, there's a note that he left in it. And it gave her the courage to take on this new lifestyle and new responsibility of becoming a princess. So the fact that she drew on her late father's words of encouragement was really heartwarming.
Yeah.
And also her being able to get through the speech, because we know that at the beginning of the movie, she's afraid of public speaking, but she was able to eloquently and gracefully give her speech, still being genuine to herself. I thought that was a nice scene to see her character development through that. So yeah, that's
Yeah.
my last point there.
That's a good one. Yeah, I never think about it like that. I've never ever thought about it like that. Like, yeah, she does genuinely get that courage from her, dad's words in that diary. And I'm so glad that she took the time to read it before that. And
Hmm.
I think that that moment is just so powerful, like you said, with her at the ball, because she was literally bullied for like puking and being nervous about her public speaking. And that is such an important thing when it comes to like, politics, right? And being a princess, like, is political. So there's so much of, politics and government and, media and stuff that she has to learn. And having those, public speeches is something that comes with the job. And so the fact that this was something that she struggled with so deeply, and it's something that's needed for her to do what she needs to do to step into her princess role, is just crazy. Like you said, to see the character development, and I think that that inspired me so much as a kid, because, like you said, the way that she's able to express herself while still being herself is so good. Soaking wet, right?
Yeah.
Pulled up to the event, jeans on, hoodie on, soaking wet, don't even have her gown on yet. And she's like, hey, y'all, I'm here to slay. Matter of fact, I do accept. And that's such a good thing to me that her granny at the end of the day said, you know what? It's your choice. If you want to, accept your princess duties, you can. If you don't, it's fine. And I love
Hmm.
that she was given a choice, because if this was kind of like, hostile takeover situation, it's like, no, you're coming with me to Genovia, then that would have been a different story.
Mm.
But she's like, no, I'm going to give you an option. I'm going to take the time to spend with you, show you what this is about, let you know everything that it entails, and then you can make your decision. And I think that was like the perfect way to do that, to like ease her into it. So then by the end, she's like, okay, I do feel like I'm prepared for this. Because if she would have
Exactly.
just like thrown her in the deep end, that would have been messed up. Like, it really could have gone either way, but no. She took her time, she worked with her. So then that way towards the end, she's like, she feels like she does have the tools to do this. And I think that is like a really important fact that people shouldn't forget about. Like, Queen Clarice did, she did her big one with that, and her tens, and getting, helping Mia feel ready, because she could have easily just been like, hey, you with it or not? What?
Hmm.
So yeah, I love that as well. And everything about it was just so magical. Like, the ball was so much fun, and then the song that they're playing. What is the song?
Is
I'm
it
thinking of
miracles? Miracles
miracles
happen
happen once
once
in
in a while when you believe.
believe. Like, yes. Like, at
That
that point in the
soundtrack,
film, it's so good. I'm Supergirl, and
and
I'm
I'm
here
here
to
to
save
save
the
the
world.
world, and I want to know who's
Oh,
gonna save me.
who's gonna
Crystal,
say?
shout out to
Who's
Crystal.
gonna? That's the
That,
singer.
yeah,
Oh,
yeah, yeah,
eight,
yeah, yeah.
eight,
I don't know
eight,
any other
eight.
songs from her, but that one, great.
Man, such a good soundtrack. And then
Yeah.
that ending song, it makes the ball feel that much more magical. And
Yes.
it's like, you're like, miracles do happen once in a while when you believe.
Yeah.
Yes. Like, wait, guys, yeah. Like, I'm left with this such a huge wholesome feeling. Like, guys, I don't think I can or express how fulfilling it
Oh.
is at the end. That ball, seeing everybody turn up, that song playing, miracles happen once in a while when you believe. You're like, right, I have hope. Like, you can't do anything you set your mind to. Like, you can be a princess, you can do hard things. You know what I mean? It just leaves me feeling so inspired every single time. And then I end up crying.
Oh.
So once again, when I watched this a few weeks ago, bust down tears. I'm like, why am I
Oh.
sobbing again? I sob every single time. I cry every time.
Because it gets you in your feels. I understand.
Yes. I
It
end up also
really.
doing a review on Letterboxd. Do you know about Letterboxd?
You did tell me about it. Yeah.
Yeah. For those who don't know, it's like an app where you can like do reviews for movies. And my official Letterboxd review, I gave it a 5 out of 5 stars. And I said the foot
Hmm.
popping kiss at the ball is always the most magical moment. I love this movie so much. The soundtrack is everything. This movie reminds me of childhood when there were no bills and life was carefree.
Love that part.
That's my official Letterbox review of the film.
Oh, great one. Love that.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Overall, very wholesome film with great. messaging throughout it. Um, yeah, I am now interested in reading the books just to
Same.
see like the different more of the differences and the vibe of the books. I think I can't remember how many books there are in the series, but
Yeah.
it is a series. And as I mentioned, the half sister also has her own book series as well. So I'll be
Nice.
interested in checking those out to do a little
Yeah.
comparison.
Yeah. I need to. You need to let me know if you follow up on that,
Will do.
so we can see what's going on. Because the fact that it's the sister gets the books is like crazy.
Yeah.
But yeah, like you said, I really love this film. It's just so much fun to watch to this day. This is something that I know for a fact that like if I ever have kids, I'm also gonna like have them watch. Like I would the ultimate dream, like imagine like me sitting with my daughter, like showing her this film. Like I just hope that like my future kid feels what I felt and like also feels like wow, whimsy, beautiful, magical, like that just glittery feeling inside after watching this.
Aw.
Like what? Like it really gives you so much hope. Like it's hope core. This
Hmm.
film is hope core. If you need a
Yeah.
dose of hope and
Watch
happiness,
this.
watch this.
Yes. And listen to the soundtrack after.
Exactly. So, like I said at the beginning, I will be talking about Princess Diaries on the A Little Bit a Lot podcast on my solo show I'll be talking about the second film because I also really love that film. We got Raven Simone in that one. Ooh, it's a
Hmm.
banger. So stay tuned for that. If you just search on YouTube at A Little Bit a Lot podcast, you'll find the show. It's also available on Spotify and Apple, just like this one. So be sure to be on the lookout for part two for that. Anything else?
One last thing I forgot to mention at the beginning was Whitney Houston. I think she was a
Mm-hmm.
producer
She
or
was an
on
executive
this, and the
producer.
second one, I was like, oh, okay, Whitney.
Yep.
Yes. So that's cool.
Taste. I also really love the soundtrack for the second film too. So
Yeah.
can't wait to get into that one. But Whitney, she did her tens. Didn't she also executive produce Cheetah Girls?
I believe so. I believe
Yeah,
so. Yeah.
she ate with that. Like her investments in producing, she knew. She was ahead of her time. She knew what
Hmm.
to invest in.
Yep.
Oh my gosh. Well, yes, this was so much fun. And if you guys, enjoyed this episode too, then be sure to rate us 5 stars on Spotify, Apple, and leave us a review on Apple as well. We got to get those Apple reviews up. Let us know what you think about this episode. Let us know what you think about the show and share the podcast. If you
Yes.
have a friend who, used to love Princess Diaries growing up, be sure to send it to them, friends, family, coworkers, you name it. And if there's, anyone that that's just interested in general with, early 2000s nostalgia, throwbacks, any other millennials, that might be interested in this, go ahead and give it a share. And again, follow us on our socials. Our Instagram is everything 2000s pod. So go ahead and follow us on IG. Like I said, subscribe on the YouTube at everything 2000s podcast. And with that, we will see you guys next time. Bye.
Bye.